Hello and welcome to our third eye practice, ajna. Third eye is located here, just above and between the eye point. This is where we perceive energy outside of our five senses. It's the sixth sense of perception, of knowing. And so we'll be doing a few meditations, a low and slow practice. Most of our movements will be with the head below the heart, bathing the brain in blood and getting the energy up here. Um, Physically, this encompasses the hypothalamus, the pineal gland, which is situated right behind the third eye, and the eyes themselves. So if you're out of balance, physically, you may have headaches, blindness, any eye issues, um, suffer from nightmares, and you may be prone to daydreaming without moving into action. Um, so it's really this brings us the ability to trans self and move into the psychic plane, crossing dimensions of space and time, and giving us that secondary knowing, um, or clairvoyance, if you will, or the ability to connect with guides, for greater awareness as you move through your journey. So we'll begin with our usual meditation practice where we place the right hand on top of the left, thumbs to touch, to join the yin and yang, the masculine and feminine energy within us, rolling the shoulders down and back, relaxing the arms. And instead of having our eyes open and gazing 2 to 3 feet in front of us, we'll have our eyes closed so that we shut off the sense of sight. And bring the gaze, if it's comfortable for you, up to the third eye. So your eyes are closed, but you're rolling your eyes up to this point and picturing this beautiful indigo light at your third eye. I have my indigo, or as close as I could come to indigo, my indigo shirt on, which is a blue with just like a touch, or it's a bright blue, almost like a royal blue with a little purple in it. So imagining that beautiful indigo light at the third eye, closing the eyes, hands are relaxed in the lap, shoulders down and back. Maybe you have a blanket under your hips, to lift you up and open up the hips a little bit more and help you keep your spine aligned, head over heart, heart over pelvis. So lowering your gaze or your eyelids, but bringing your gaze up to the third eye. Chin is just tucked slightly. Muscles of the face are relaxed. Jaw is relaxed. The tongue comes behind the top front teeth. Imagining that beautiful light at the third eye, the indigo light. Taking notice of where you might be holding tension in the body, and with each exhale, releasing that tension. And if you notice thoughts creeping in, just let them go and come back to the mantra, I breathe in, I breathe out. Whole physical body is relaxed, spine is straight, gaze is up at the third eye, the beautiful indigo chakra, beginning to bring energy to that point in your being. without expectation or attachment to the outcome. And as we begin to come back to the room to engage in our practice, let's take a deep breath in to just release the day thus far. And a big sigh out. 2 more like that. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. And another deep breath in. And bat your eyes open. This first practice is to stimulate our third eye. It may bring you a little dizziness, as we discovered last night in our in-person practice. So I will take my glasses off for this. I don't know if you can see my eyes, my sleepy eyes this morning. So hands are on the knees, either down or up. I'm sorry, I placed the camera up a little bit because we have a couple of standing positions during this sequence, and I thought it would be easier for you to see me that way. Is there a thing, it's one practice that we have not done before. So keeping the chin parallel, maybe tucked just a little bit, a little throat lock there, keeping us nice and straight. So no movement of the head, all the movement is in the eyes. So we'll begin on an inhale looking up, and then on an exhale looking down. Inhale up, exhale 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 down. And inhale, bring your gaze to center, maybe blink a few times. Take a deep breath. Now we're going to go side to side, left to right. So bringing the gaze, not the head, left and right, left and right. Remembering to breathe and relax the rest of your body, not moving the head as we move left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Come to center. Give a few blinks. So the music we're listening to right now is Tibetan monks chanting Om. And Om is the sacred seed sound of the third eye chakra. It's also to one another, that whoever's practicing. It opens us up to receiving. So now we'll go diagonal. So left upper corner to right lower corner. So upper left, lower right. Upper left, lower right. Upper left, lower right. upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, back to center. Now the opposite, upper right, lower left. Here we go. Upper right, lower left, 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 upper right, lower left. Come to center. Now we're going to do circles. It doesn't matter which way you go. We're going to do a few in one direction and then a few in the other. So begin to kind of bring your gaze, let's say to the upper left, around the top and down, big circles with the eyes. Sweeping up and sweeping down below, sweeping up and down below. And then the other way, right to left and down and around. If you're going the other direction, that's okay. Don't move the head. This is all in the eyes. And then back to center, blinking them a few times. Close the eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel right now. Bring your hands together in prayer and rub them vigorously. Create some heat. Create some heat. And then place them over your eyes, your physical eyes and your third eye. Imagining this beautiful ball of healing light above your crown, above your head. And as you inhale, the light drops down to your heart space, travels out your arms and hands and into this area of your body, bringing healing, bringing whatever you need. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Opening up to receiving. And then taking the fingertips and lightly brushing across the eyelids and coming across the brows, giving yourself a little facial massage around the forehead, down around the outside of your eyes, around the orbits and the cheekbones. Very gently, just with your fingertips, little circles, massaging. Maybe get back to your jaw joint, your TMJ. Massage down your jawline, all the way to your chin. And then just bring your dominant hand, your forefinger and your middle finger to your third eye and give it a little circular massage, waking that perceptive energy up. Imagining that you're caressing that blue indigo light, beautiful indigo light. Breathing. And then drop your hands again to your knees, up or down. And notice how you feel. If you're feeling a little heady, maybe placing your hands on your mat with the intention of growing roots from all the places that you touch your mat, touch the earth, grounding you, holding you stable and steady. And we'll bat our eyes open and begin our practice. So today's practice, as I said, will have the head below the heart quite a bit. If you feel dizzy at any time, please come to seated and take a few breaths. And if you feel inclined to join us again, then please join us. Sitting in the energy of this practice will open you up. You'll benefit regardless of whether you do all of the asana poses or not. I'm going to put on a little third eye music. So this is a higher vibration. It's at 852. So if you remember, we started out much lower in the root chakra at, I believe, 328 hertz. So we're now at 852 hertz. We'll begin in a cat-cow, of course, to get the spinal fluid moving, get the energy moving through all of our chakras. So we're not just working on the third eye, even though that's our focus today. We need to have that flow, that communication between all of our chakras to be the hollow conduit of divine energy, divine source, to be able to perceive heaven to earth, earth to heaven connection. So let's begin in our cat-cow. Knees directly under the hip points, hands directly under the shoulders, elbow creases shine forward. There's a tuck of the navel so that our back is nice and flat. We're not dumping in either way as we begin in table. So we'll inhale, shine the heart forward, drop the belly, the sits bones shine up through to the sky, bringing the head up gently without cranking it, filling up the body with air, and on an exhale from the navel point first, curling, rounding like a Halloween cat, pushing away from the mat with the hands, opening up the heart space in the back body, and just allowing the head to drop. I invite you, if it's comfortable in your practice, to close your eyes and focus at the third eye as we do this. Inhaling up, shining the heart forward, exhaling completely as we round and curl like a Halloween cat. And now go at your own pace, your own breath rate, beginning slowly, and then maybe moving a little bit faster with your breath. Filling the body completely with air and exhaling completely. Audible breath. And bringing a nice flow to your cat-cow versus kind of herky-jerky. Flowing with your breath with ease. Focus at the third eye. Imagining that beautiful indigo light. Coming to stillness in table, bringing the hands out a little bit in front of you, curling the toes under. We're going to go into our first downward dog. Hips up first, going from the navel center, bringing up, like you're pulling up, like someone's has a rope around your waist and is pulling you up from the waist. And then sinking back, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Knees are bent generously, taking a pause here with the knees bent. And then beginning to stretch out the back of the leg, pedaling with your breath. The face is relaxed. Coming to stillness for a few breaths here. Allowing your energy, your blood, your lymph to flow in the opposite direction. And very slowly crisscrossing as we walk our feet, as we walk up to our hands, just to slow us down a little bit. Bringing the feet directly underneath the hips, ragdolling over, generous bend again in the legs. As we move from our active chakras in the lower part of the being to our upper, more passive chakras, thinking of this practice as moving energy coming out of that physical practice. Maybe you grasp opposite elbows, and with each exhale, you drop a little deeper into this stretch. The head comes a little lower. Shake the head yes and no. Making sure your feet are touching the mat on all four corners. You're grounded securely. You're not gripping in your toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let the arms go. Let's walk them to the left, and then come through center and walk them over to the right. And back to center, palms to the earth. Acknowledging this grounded energy, this connection to earth. And then slowly from the navel, rolling up. Last thing to come up, the shoulders and the head. Rolling the shoulders down and back. And lift in the quadriceps, the hands still open, shoulders are down and back. The chin is level with the floor. The sternum is lifted towards the sky. So let's think about energetically what's going on in the body right now. We have this upward lifted energy in the front body and this grounding energy down through the back body. Beginning this connection, or extending this connection, heaven to earth, earth to heaven. We'll steeple the hands, so interlace the hands with the fingers in a steeple grip above the head, directly straight above the head. Eyes are closed. Imagining that you are a conduit for this beautiful beam of light from heaven to earth, earth to heaven. We'll bring the head tilting back, looking up at the fingertips, and imagining that you have this laser beam of light coming out of your pointer fingers. Take a deep breath in, kind of suture up our root lock, our abdominal lock for balance. And coming into a small back bend, imagine drawing that beam of light across the ceiling to the back wall, if you can go that far. If not, no worries. And then as you exhale, drawing it back down the ceiling, the front wall, engaging the abdominals so that you come with a flat back as you roll down between your feet, drawing that light from heaven to earth. And on an inhale, we'll draw it back from earth to heaven. So this beam of light, gaze at your fingertips as you bring it up, the floor, the front wall, to directly above your head. Pausing here, closing your eyes, and just imagining this beautiful light running directly through your core. From heaven to earth, earth to heaven. Inhale, stretch up, 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 allowing that light to fill you, and exhale, cascade your arms down and bring them into prayer. And just take a moment here, eyes closed. We'll inhale up again, hands come to touch, and down, slicing down through the front, all the way to forward fold. Hands frame the feet, stepping back into a downward dog. Taking a moment here. And then dropping the knees, coming into child's pose, either knees together or knees wide, whichever works best in your body. And bringing a mat to the floor in front of you so that while you're in this child's pose, you can massage the third eye. So if you're in a wide leg child's pose, your forehead may touch the earth, so you can disregard the block and just place your forehead on the floor. If not, and you're on the block, you want to roll the forehead back and forth to massage this area. So coming into child's pose, either with legs together or knees apart, relaxing. Feeling the tension leave the hips and the low back, and rolling the head back and forth, massaging the third eye point. If you're prone to headaches or sinus pressure, this may feel really good. And then just come into stillness. On an inhale, we'll walk back up. We're going to come back to table, and then downward dog. On an inhale, anchor the left foot down, bring the right foot up. Make sure the hips are even, we're not opening up. And on an exhale, scoop up like we're doing cat pose, bringing the knee close to the body and up between the feet. Turning that back foot out at a 40-degree angle and reaching forward, up and back. Warrior one. Taking a few breaths here, maybe wiggling that right foot out just a little bit so that you have a wider stance, like hip width stance. Make sure that your hips are forward, your knee never goes past your ankle. We're going to come into humble warrior. So interlacing the hands behind the back, rolling the shoulders down and back of the body. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. Opening up the heart space where we receive. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale from your hips, from your core, very stable, bending forward. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you drop down, letting the head go and the arms come up into humble warrior. On an inhale, very slowly, powering up through that front leg, back into warrior one, releasing the hands. Inhale up, maybe a slight back bend, and exhale, bring your hands down, framing that foot into a high lunge. Left hand comes to the mat, right hand kind of smears across your chest so that we open the chest first before the arm comes up. Take an inhale in and reach up. Exhale, come back, straight back to downward dog. No vinyasas today. A few breaths here in downward dog. Relax the face. Knees can be bent. On an inhale, anchor through the right foot. Lift the left foot up, keeping the hips level. And as you exhale, come up on that right toe, hunching the back. The left leg comes in to center and then up and through between your hands. The back foot out to a 45-degree angle. Reach forward, up and back. Warrior one. Adjust your feet so that you feel nice and stable. The hips are forward. Giving yourself a little bit of a wider stance so that when we come into humble warrior, you don't topple over. Bringing the hands down behind you, interlacing them behind your back. This time, opposite grip. Maybe your left thumb is on top. Rolling the shoulders down and back. And from the navel, supporting your whole torso, not just flopping over. We'll come over, maybe stopping here, feeling that power in the legs, or coming all the way down to humble warrior, dropping the head. And if you fall, that's okay. I have a little inner ear thing, especially first thing in the morning. Inhale, come up. So that's part of yoga, accepting, when you make mistakes. It's okay. Exhale, let go. Inhale, come up to warrior one. Maybe a slight back bend. Exhale, come down. Turn that back foot so we're in a high lunge. Right hand on the mat, left hand open up the shoulder, and then extend up to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down. Straight back to downward dog. Noticing how your body feels now in this downward dog compared to the first downward dog. Oh, hello. Speaking of downward dog. And on an exhale, bringing the knees to the mat. We're going to come into camel pose. So you might want your blocks to either side of your feet behind you. And I can tip this down just a tad so you can see what I'm doing. To either side. So before we begin camel, knees are hip width apart. We're pushing the hips forward. We're cinching up that energy here to support the lower back. You can just place the hands up or down on the lower back and come here. Or we can move into a full camel where your hands are back here on the blocks this way or sideways or on your heels. And then we'll drop the head back. So we'll everyone begin with our hands on our lower back. Inhale, extend the spine up. And then begin to push the hips forward Now you can stay here, or you can reach back into a full camel onto the heels and then drop the head back. As you come out of this, if you're in a full camel, bring your hands to your back and then slowly bring the head up, up, up from the center, from the core. And let's go into a child's pose again, lowering the head just as a counter pose, letting the shoulders go. And bring the hands to the sides of the knees and push up. And we'll come into double pigeon or fire. It's like fire logs in yin for those who've done yin with me. So take the right leg on top. The knees are stacked over, the feet and the knees are stacked. So you may find, I find morning time, I am definitely not as limber as I am at night. That's okay. So we have our legs stacked in a pigeon, double pigeon. We're going to inhale, lengthen the torso, and as we exhale, just slowly come forward, walking the hands forward and then dropping the head. Do not come too far, so far forward that your hips lift off the mat. So as I was saying, we're attending to all of our chakras. So right now we're in the root chakra and the sacral chakra. On an inhale, walk yourself back up. Bring your hands behind your hips, feet to the mat, and give yourself a little windshield wiper back and forth. And then we'll go into the other side. Left foot on top of right knee, stacking the legs like fire logs. Inhaling up and exhaling as you move forward. Remember to fill the body with breath, and as you exhale, let go of any tension that you're holding, especially in the hips. Inhale, push yourself back up. Our last pose is legs up the wall. So, I happen to have a wall over there that you might be able to see me at. So the easiest way is to go against the wall and lay on your side, like in a fetal position with your bum against the wall. And then and then you roll over with your legs up and then scoot a block or a folded blanket under your hips. So again, we want the head to be the lowest point in your body. So it's easiest if you take your mat and move it against the wall, especially if you have hardwood floors, because I always slide away from the wall. But I'm just going to move over there and quickly show you how to get in position and different leg positions that you can hold while you're in legs up the wall. This is a great pose to do if you tend to have a difficult time falling asleep. It brings the blood to the brain, relaxes the entire body, relaxes the parasympathetic system, and allows you to fall asleep a little bit faster. And of course, I mean, you really want to hold this pose for 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 10 minutes, if you can. If you're using it as a kind of sleep aid, and or otherwise, because it's good for the body. So we'll move towards the wall. You can see that I'm lying on my side, scooting my butt against the wall, rolling over, and then placing the block underneath my hips. You can have the legs extended. We don't want to lock the knees. You can have the knees bent. You can have them wide open for more of a yin posture to open up the ligaments in the hip. Or this one is nice, a reclined cobbler's pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. So find what works best in your body. We'll be holding this pose for a few minutes while I read a meditation. So get into your posture, get nice and comfy, close your eyes. Let's see if I can do this with my dog chewing on me. And sniffing my ear. So close your eyes, relax your face, find the posture that works best for you. If that's very uncomfortable for you to have your legs on the wall, you can always just use a bowl, lay on your back on the mat with a bolster, with your legs up on a bolster, or even up on a couch, bent. So close your eyes, bring your focus to your breath. It is dark, eyes closed. We lie as if asleep, dreamless, ignorant of all around us. Floating in a sea of emptiness, we are cradled in darkness, unseeing, unknowing, at peace. We breathe slowly in and out, stretching and relaxing our bodies as we settle into the warm, peaceful darkness inside. We are home. We are safe. We are deep within ourselves, feeling, hearing, being, but not yet seeing. Become this darkness, all-knowing yet unknowing, empty and free. Let the dark wash over you, soothe you as you empty your mind into the infinity of the void, the womb of darkness, the birthplace of our dreams to come. Somewhere in the darkness, we hear a sound, a distant note, a voice, a scuffle of movement. We feel the flutter of a breeze upon our face, feel a warmth upon our shoulders, feel the pull to rise and flow and follow. But we know we are not there. Our bodies cannot see and dare not move. They are dark and still. They call to us for direction, wisdom, guidance. They call to intelligence. They call to memory. They call for clarification of the pattern. They call to light. And afraid to leave the darkness and safety of our ignorance, We hear this call. We hear this call in our own mind, hungry for answers. Quest outward. We long to see, to know, to behold at once the wonders that surround us, to fill our minds with recognition, the certain steps of knowing, the safety, the peace that light too can bring. We open our mind, we open our eyes, we look about. Images pour forth in myriad kaleidoscope forms, tumbling inward pattern upon pattern, endlessly interweaving. Colors, shapes, and forms reflecting space around us, reflecting back into us, recording life in patterns that our minds can clearly see. The mind opens and receives, but there is too much and the light is blinding. We call to the dark to shade us, to temper, to bind the patterns into meaning. And the dark comes softly, hand in hand and shadow to the light, defining, shading, intertwining, ordering. The light comes more gently now, rainbow colors, healing, green, active yellow, soothing blue, potent violet. All this alive glows with light, shape, and the essence and form revealed for us to see and know. What do we wish to see? What do we call forth to our inner vision? What does the light bring? Beauty of 1,000 suns, beauty of a single moon, patterns of the life we're leading, all the truth we are perceiving. Gently, now on wings of light, our petals flutter through the night, reaching out to worlds beyond, events forthcoming, days gone long. Holographic matrix net escapes the boundaries by time set. All the truth can be contained by patterns in the mind retained. Red and yellow, green and blue, interlace in varied hue. Shape and form, insight revealed, nothing can remain concealed. From inner vision reaching out, seeing truth, removing doubt. Inside we open, watch, and wait, while wisdom's visions spin our fate. Illumination shows the way, our inner light turns night to day, and through the dark shall yet return. We fear it not, for we have learned the way the dark and light combine, letting patterns be defined. Dark to light and night to day, within our minds we light the way. Begin to deepen your breath and take small movements in the body. Slowly roll to one side or the other if your legs are up the wall. Take a pause. And then you can go ahead and roll up to seated. We're going to end our practice today with a shamanic journey to flex our third eye energy. And we really had a powerful session last night, I felt like. And it was fun to share what you all witnessed in the lower worlds. So for our shamanic journey, you need to be comfortable. And it would be nice to have a journal handy so that you can journal what you saw. As we all discovered last night, in journaling, we processed what we saw and maybe found the meaning, the answer, or maybe not, that we were looking for on the other side, to these images that we received. So Matt blanket to get cozy. You're going to come into Savasana pose. It's nice to have an eye bag to block out the light, so we can go to the darkness, so that we can travel to the great void for our answers. I'll be playing the drum at a certain tempo as we're journeying. When I speed up the tempo, that's your signal to begin your return back and to thank your guides for whatever guidance that they had to share with you. So get yourself comfortable. Get your journal and a pen. You can do this seated, but sometimes it's hard to relax and go there when you're seated. And if you fall asleep, that's okay. The whole purpose of doing the movement practice first is to get the energies moving and out of your body and release what you need to release so that you can be open to receiving. So if you do a journey at home by yourself and you use like a recorded shamanic drumming, try to do a little, you can dance, sing, take a walk or a run, some sort of movement to get the energy flowing in your body before you begin your journey. So get yourself comfy. I'm gonna grab my drum. And for those who didn't join us last night, the first thing you want to do is think of a happy spot, a place to begin and end with, a safe spot, maybe from childhood or maybe from the present. So I shared that my happy spot is the backyard of the home I grew up in. I used to go out there with all my cozy snow gear on and just lay in the snow and watch the big pine trees blow over me. So I begin my journey there. And the next thing we need to do is imagine a portal. So whether that's a hole in the ground, so it's some delineation between this happy spot and the next world that we're going into. So in shamanism, we have the lower world, which tends to be our guides, our ancestors, and the past. The middle world is the present, and then the upper world is more the spirit world. We're going into the lower world to meet our guides and ask them what we need to know just for today. So we'll start in our happy place. This is not a guided meditation. I'm giving you all the information now, and then it's up to you to go. I'm just going to be drumming. So happy spot, a portal, which could be a hole in the ground, a hole in a tree, a cave. You could jump into the water if you're at the lake in your happy spot. You jump off the dock and into the lake and go to the lower world. Some people went in a cave last night, or as I said, a hole in the ground. So when you go, it's important that you know that if you come across any unsavory, and I didn't tell you this last night, whoops. If you come across any unsavory entities that you don't have a good feeling, you can just say, no, thank you, I'm looking for my guides. You have the power to do that. So asking, for your guides to arrive, and once they arrive, ask them with gratitude for guidance just for today. What do you need to know today? And then when you leave, thank them, and then I'll call you back. So let's close your eyes, place your eye covering if you have one. And I apologize for my puppy. She's been attacking me every once in a while I'm doing this. Picture your happy place. And remember that when the cadence of the drum quickens, that's your call to come back. So listen to the drum and link into your breath. The drum beat is supposed to bring you into a trance. It's monotonous. Happy journeying. I'm going to pause, sorry, and put her in her crate. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hold on. I don't know how to pause my live stream, so I'm very sorry about that. I have not drummed around Jade, and I didn't realize she was going to do that. Okay, back to your happy place. If you haven't made your way back, thank your guides and make your way back to your happy place. Come back through the porthole and back to your happy place, safe and content. Come back to your breath and to this room. Maybe remove your eye covering, yet keep your eyes closed. And begin to make small movements in the body, fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe drawing the knees in, giving a little roll back and forth to massage the lower back. And come to your right side in a fetal position, taking a pause there, beginning to digest your journey, and slowly making your way up to seated. Grabbing your journal and begin journaling your experience in the lower world. Take maybe 3 to 5 minutes to journal. And if you'd like to share your experience, if you're doing this at home, please feel free to message me. There's no judgment. We don't need to figure it out. Sometimes you just see, a color. Sometimes you just see black and you don't have this like profound experience. I know I've journeyed quite a few times, and sometimes it's really like, holy cow, this was so profound. And other times I'm like, meh, I'm not sure what to make of that. So just allowing whatever comes up to come up. We'll bring our hands to heart space. It's important after you've kind of tapped into the third eye or the crown chakra, these upper chakras, to ground. And if we can't get outside, today's a snowy day. Right now here in Maine, it's hard. You can't go barefoot outside, but you can go outside and put your hands on a tree. The tree is rooted into the earth. Put your third eye on the tree and just take 7 deep breaths and notice how you feel. Imagine yourself grounding. But another way is a gratitude practice to bring us to the present. So we'll close our eyes in gratitude for this practice, for tapping into our sixth sense, our gifts. Gratitude for someone special in our lives. Gratitude for our community, for living in a safe place here in this beautiful state of Maine. And offering blessings to those in the Ukraine. Wishing them the same safety that we enjoy here, that we are privileged to have here. And ending our practice with the sacred sound of Om. We'll do one long Om to seal our practice. Deep breath in. And bringing the hands to the third eye, the light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.